Hey y'all, it's Alex from the Creative Llama. If you see that red live box right there, that means I'm live. But if you don't see it, you are just catching the replay. I know that we are backwards. Unfortunately, the option to mirror my camera has been taken away. So until I can figure out a solution, we're going to just be backwards for tonight. But good thing the craft that I'm doing tonight does not require reading. So we'll be good to go. Okay, so when y'all pop on, say hey and comment the word flower. I totally forgot to change the keyword. Comment the word flower. It's not Tuesday. Comment that word flower and I will send you the supply list for everything I'm using. But let me get the pinned comment fixed for y'all and then we will get started. So we are doing a fun little spring craft. It is very rainy here in San Antonio. It started raining about late this afternoon. So I'm enjoying it. So, hello. Hi, Kathy. Give me 1 second. Let me get this. Oh, I know that we are back. Oh, let me get this shared. Hi, Lynette. How are you? Let me pin the new comment, the keyword, I mean. So our keyword is flower. When you comment that keyword, you'll get the supply list. And before you do anything else, make sure you're in the broadcast channel because that's the best way to know when I'm live is through that broadcast channel because I will send out a message. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Donna Glaze. Hello. Yes, our keyword is flower tonight. I fixed it, I think. Yes. Okay. So we've got these fun little standing flowers. We're going to experiment. I cut 4 layers, but I think it's only going to take 3. But these are fun little funky looking standing flowers. We're going to paint them. I don't know quite yet. I'm going to let y'all vote here in just a second. And I realized I pulled out the wrong 2 colors. Hello. Hi, Donna Deek. All right, let me put these up real quick. I pulled out the blues. That's not what I want. So here's what I'm thinking. We are going to put a transfer on top of this, which I just realized I'm not quite sure where that's at. That's lovely for me. Hold on. So we've got our brights. So we've got peony, bumblebee, berry, or we have these 3. Let me put it in the same order. Or we've got the pastels, which is wisteria, sunnyside, and peachy keen. Which color should we do? The bright or the pastels? Hi, Robbie. Hi, Victoria. How's everybody doing? I am a little out of sorts, which, that's not anything new. And we're going to use this transfer today. Hi, Dee Dee. So let me know. Should we go pastels or should we go brights? I don't know. Uh-oh. Oh gosh. Am I moving slow for y'all? So what I'm going to do, oh gosh, y'all, the rain might be messing us up. I'm going to put, let me show y'all. I'm going to put this transfer on the flowers. And so I'm thinking we'll do the opposite color, not the opposite color, but like the pastel on the darker or vice versa, or do it on all white. I'm not quite sure. Am I freezing for y'all? Hi, Lisa. You're fine. Okay, thanks, Monica. Hi, Sharon. Bright, bright, bright. Okay, y'all are voting bright. Really? I'm really shocked because I thought y'all were going to go pastels. The darkers. Funky flowers need funky colors. Yeah. All right, y'all are saying the bright. So I'm going to put the pastels away, which we might still use those for the patterns. So now I've got to kind of think. I'm going to just do this order. So big, medium, small. Okay. Thank y'all. My technology has been giving me a run for my money lately. I will say that. So oh my gosh, I cannot think today. Hit the heart button for me and comment the word flower. That's our keyword tonight. These flowers I just added to the website. I did not know I did. I added a product picture, but we'll add a finished picture here in a second. So the really great thing about these is we're going to layer these and glue them together. So you'll get at least 3 layers. We're going to test it out to see how it works tonight. But you only need to paint the top layer. Now you could purchase these and use them for different things if that's what you want to do. But these are made to like glue together and stand. So we're going to paint our big flower in peony. You're backwards. Yeah, I am backwards. Silly old Facebook took away my option to mirror my image. And it's bothering me. I don't like it being backwards. I don't like it. Thanks, Linda. You're so sweet. I meant to respond back to your email. I will do that tonight. 70 Flowers, Children Colors. Hi, Darlene and Denise. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. It is rainy here, y'all. How's the weather where y'all are at? Here in San Antonio, we needed the rain. So, you did catch me. We just got started, Sharon. Hi, Barbara. All right. Getting this nice and covered and painted. Trying to not get it on the sides, but I think I've already failed that. Hi, Shannon. All right. So I'm going in with Peony. You could do the same thing with acrylic paint, which I almost used tonight, but I thought, you know what? Let's use our chalk paste. Let's use our chalk paste to paint. Because it's got some good, like, spring and bright colors. All right. So there is flower number 1. I'm going to set that there. Drop that in the water. Hi, Sandy. I shipped out one of your orders today, I believe. Or it's getting boxed up to be shipped. Beautiful 70s and sunny. Yay, Sharon, you got your notification. That is always happy news. All right. We're going to go in and we're going to do our middle flower in Bumblebee. Snow. Oh my goodness. No, thank you, Miss Darlene. Hi, Chris. Yes, the flower reminds me of the 70s dating game show. Hi, Lori Chambers. How are you? Yeah, we're just going to do something fun. Now, the person who created these, like the cut file for me, she painted them all yellow. And I thought that'd be pretty, but let's do something fun and springy. So we're going to do brights because that's what y'all voted. Hi, Cheryl. Yeah, so it's raining here and Boone and Tucker hate the rain. They act like, poor pitiful me, you're gonna make me go out in the rain, but they, I make them go out in the rain to go to the bathroom, and then they just sit on the side of the house and don't even go. So, anybody else's animals hate going outside when it's raining? Or is it just mine? Is it just my 2 divas? That they are absolute divas, especially Boone. Well, Boone's afraid of the rain. But Boone's afraid of everything. All right, I'm getting an order tomorrow. Perfect. Hi, Judy Jen. That sounds fabulous, Miss Linda. All right, we're going to put those there. I'm going to wipe this up, and then we're going to do our small flower. Yeah, so did y'all see the quick shop option on the live sale? I posted that this morning. Some of y'all have already went back and shopped, which is super exciting. I think y'all are really loving that option. Mine does. Yeah. See? They are just little divas. All right, let's dry this off. And then we're going to go in with the color Berry, which mine is a little dry. So I'm going to spray some distilled water in there. Okay. That is distilled in there for actually this time. Usually I have regular tap water. But I'm going to spray distilled water and I'm going to try to mix this up. I might need my multi-tool. Your dog loves the water. Ours too. We put pee pads out and one dog uses it. Yeah. Boone will hold it. Tucker will find somewhere in my house to go to the restroom, which is very infuriating. Like last night, no joke, y'all. It wasn't raining. It was beautiful. Like it was a normal night outside. They had gone out, right? They've been outside after dinner, and we let them back in. And Tucker, not that we didn't know, went to the restroom on the floor, and then Thomas stepped in it. So, he's a dachshund. My dad always says, little brain. He's got a little brain, Alex, so... Yours will go out. That's so nice. Hi, Kim. I'm jealous. My 2 are little divas. And, Boone won't go in the house, but Tucker absolutely will. Tucker's my little long-haired miniature dachshund. And he is very, very stubborn. Extremely stubborn. So... it is what it is. All right, we're going to go in with the color Berry and apply this all over. Now we are going to do our transfer on top. I'll show that to y'all here in just 1 second, and we can kind of figure out how we want to do this. So I thought 2 ways. We can do the pattern on the flowers in white and call it a day, or we can do the pattern in these colors. So obviously the wisteria, the light purple would go on the purple, the light yellow would go on the yellow, and the pink would go on the pink. So should we do our pattern in white or the colors? What do y'all think? All right, I'm going to move that out of here, and I'm going to do another coat. Let's dry this and then do another coat of the yellow. If y'all are just jumping on, say hey, and comment the word flower. That's our keyword tonight. You'll get the supply list for everything we're using. Do me a huge favor, hit the heart button and share the video. When you do that, that does help me out so much. Colors. Okay, that's what I was thinking too. That's what I was thinking too. So our yellow just needs a little bit of touch-ups on some of the edges, on the outside edges. And then I think we're good to go here. I got some purple on there that I didn't want. All right. That looks good. Drop that into the water. Orange on the yellow. I was just going to do light colors. But you could, if you get this project, you could totally do the orange on the yellow. I think that'd be pretty. I think that'd be really pretty. All right, I'm gonna clean up that edge so that way my jar doesn't get stuck shut. Actually, you know what? No, that needs one more coat. Pastels. Okay, perfect. We will do the pastels on top. And we will lightly sand these because my paste is a little bit thicker, and so it's not painting smoothly. That's just it's just because my paste is thicker than like the normal consistency. And I want my, what was I gonna say? I want my my transfer to lay flat. So we will lightly sand these down to smooth them out just a little bit. And I need to go in and add some water to this paste. Because if your paint is not thin, there'll be like clumps on top of your cutouts, which you don't want, and it'll take forever to dry. So you can sand those off after you dry them. Oh my gosh, keep getting caught. Cooking separate and watching you. Well, hello, Miss Robbie. All right, question of the night. What are we all having for dinner? What are y'all eating? I don't know what I'm gonna have yet. So we painted our flowers in Bumblebee, Peony, and Berry. We are going to dry these, sand them down, and then we are going to wax them. Friday, Victoria. So the way that my lifestyles work is you shop on Sunday, you can shop all week, and then Friday is the last day to claim. And really, Friday is the last day that I'm going to check comments. You can still order if you send me a message and tell me what you want. But I will not check comments after Friday. It just becomes too overwhelming since I do them weekly to go back and check the comments every week. So Friday will be the last day that I will check comments for orders. Homemade hamburger helper, meatloaf. Ooh, Kathy, that sounds delicious. I love Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's is my jam. All right, we are going to clean up our edges, but I don't know. Here we go. Here's a marker. Chicken noodles, easy. Summer sausage and potatoes. Yum. Fried chicken. Like homemade fried chicken, Sandy? Because that sounds pretty good. All right. Just do my best to clean up my edges, keeping my black, you know, on the edge and not getting it on top. Okay. And I did get some paint in the edges. I'm just going to do my best to clean those up. You know, gyros, steaks, green beans, and coleslaw, chicken and corn on the cob, homemade fried chicken. Miss Sandy, I'm coming to your house. All right. I'm going to do my best to clean up my edges. It's not going to be perfect, but these are going to be standing flowers. So at the end, once we glue them all together, they will stand on their own. But you only need to paint one of the flowers from each for it to stand, because these are going to be layered. And I'll show you what I mean here in a second. But for some reason, anytime I do this step, I always get shaky. I promise I'm okay. Okay. There. But this just kind of makes your projects look a little bit more finished and put together, not showing that paint on this side. Ooh. All right, that looks good. Hi, Marcy. Leftovers, chicken strips and fries, ham and cheese omelet, and fried potatoes. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, so now we're going to sand. I'm going to switch my thing, and I'm going to do something that's very light, because I just want to smooth out my surface, because I don't know if y'all will be able to tell, like, there is some texture on the flower because of the paint. I went in a little thick with my paste. So do you see like that bump right there? I went a little thick in with my paste, and so that does create like unevenness, and we don't want that. So we're just going to lightly sand. No, I'm not tired. I'm good. I've been up and I put on makeup for my live. So I guess I don't look great. Cajun sausage and tomato gravy. So we're just going to sand this down and smooth it out just a little bit. Just getting it nice and even. Because if you don't do this, when you go to put the transfer on top, it can create some bleeding, which you don't want that to happen, okay? Oh, I got a little heavy-handed right there with my sanding. You'll see that? Let's go back over that really quickly. Today is hubby's birthday, so I made homemade chicken fajita. Ooh, yum, DD. Tacos are always a go-to in my house. Burritos. Thanks, Robbie. I know she didn't mean that like that, but I'm good. Yes, everybody say hello to Thomas. He's not here tonight. He's at his home. All right, so now we are going to wax, where did I put my wax? I used it earlier today. All right, so we're gonna wax our surface because we are going to put a transfer on top. So you want to wax, this is gonna drive me nuts. You wanna wax anytime you paint something and you're gonna put a transfer. That's gonna protect your paste or whatever paint you put down, okay? So I'm getting towards the end of my wax. My wax is a little dried out. I just softened it up with my heat gun, and we are going to just apply a little bit of wax. Okay, and then we're gonna go on top with our transfer here in just a second. Let me put this back. So this is the vintage patterned transfer. This is a size D. We have certainly used the heck out of the bows, which we loved that one. But we're going to go in and we're going to use this one, I think. Yeah, we're going to use this one. I don't even know what you would call that, but we're going to use that one. Oh, Linda, you're so sweet. Okay. Lift this up, and we're going to cut this apart. We haven't even used any of these other ones. No, you're fine, Stephanie. You're totally fine. I know that's not how you meant it. You are all good, my friend. Hi, Dawn Lad. All right, let's fuzz. And I'm going to see if we can fit these all on here and do them all at once instead of having to lift it and move it, clean it, all of that. That's okay, Dawn. We just got finished painting our surface. We're doing the fun part now, which is the chalking. So this is the vintage patterns. It comes with 4 different patterns, which I love. I don't know what Tucker's doing in there. He's getting into something that he's not supposed to. That's what he's doing. All right, we might have to, we're going to play around with the spacing of this. So we're going to put this up here. And so what we're going to do is the lighter, like the pastel colors that I showed you all at the beginning, on top. I think this is going to fit all in here. Okay. But it's going to stick really well to my glass mat. So just keep that in mind. Okay. We're going to push down, making sure that there are no air bubbles. And we're going to start with our smallest one first. So I'm going to go in on top with the color Wisteria. And let me go grab a mini squeegee because I need something small for that. Tucker, what are you doing? All right, here we go. We're going to apply this on top and we're going to see how this looks. I hope this looks good together. I think it will. But white, I was going to do white. And then I thought, you know what? Doing like a lighter color on top might be pretty too. All right, lift this up. Ooh. And there's the top part. Okay. Put that there. We're going to close up our Wisteria. And then we're going to go in with Sunnyside. Yeah, he's getting into something. I can hear him getting into something. He's chewing on something and I can hear it and it's driving me nuts. Tucker. Sorry, y'all. He's doing something he's not supposed to. I guess I'll find out after my live. All right, going in with the color Sunnyside on top. Now you could totally do the reverse. You could do the pastels on bottom and then the brighter colors on top. It's however you want to do it. Okay, there's that one. These do have centers to go with them. So I will show, we'll paint the centers here in a second and we'll glue those on there and it'll make it look a lot better. Okay. And then we're going to go on top with Peachy Keen, which is right here. Thanks, Janelle. All right. Oh my gosh, I can hear him. Y'all ever like in the middle of something, like on a phone call, and you can hear like your kids or your animals get into something they're not supposed to? That's what's happening right now. And you know, he doesn't do it when, you know, I'm not busy. He only does it, you know, when I'm in the middle of something. All right, going over this, covering up all of that bright pink that's underneath. Yeah, exactly, Linda. Like, oh, it's a good time. Mom's busy. Okay, so there's that one. I don't know if I'm loving the pattern on these, if I'm being honest. It's just like having, yeah, exactly. I can see Boone. He's right here looking at me. Hold on, I gotta go see what he's doing. Tucker, no, no, sir, that boy. Well, he was doing something. He loves cardboard, and he was over there chewing on this piece of cardboard over there. I knew he was doing something he wasn't supposed to. He does want my attention, Lynette. Okay, let's clean this. Yeah. He went into my offices, probably fell on the ground, and he started chewing on me. That dog loves to chew on cardboard. any chance he gets. All right, we're gonna clean this. I don't know if I'm loving the pattern on top, but we are going to go with it. We'll paint the centers and then we'll see what we think. Because if we don't like it, we're gonna switch it. It was Tucker, Pamela. It was my little dachshund. Boone doesn't really chew. I mean, I say that, but then, you know, he eats things he's not supposed to. Like kitchen towels, socks, underwear. There you go. Yeah, exactly, Janelle. Yeah, just like kids. Mom's distracted, so let me, you know, let me do something I'm not supposed to. Okay. We are going to dry this off. We're going to paint the centers, and then we're going to see what we think. We might have to switch it, which means painting all over again and switching the pattern. But you know what we can do is, since we have multiple layers, we can just paint a brand new layer, the top layer, and call it a day. Let me put this here, and I'll fix it later. All right, we're gonna pull these out. Let's dry them. Yeah, hold please. Yeah, I had to go over there. Let's dry and let's see what we think. Okay, I think it's gonna be okay. So, should we paint the centers bark or espresso? Espresso or bark? Or do y'all have a different color that we could do? I think it's gonna be okay. Oh my God, mine love to chew boxes when we come back from the store. Exactly, Yona. He loves to chew on cardboard. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Maybe it feels good on his teeth. I don't know. All right, what color? I was thinking bark. The bottom one. That's bark. My dog, she'll eat tissues or paper towels. Yeah, Tucker will do that too. It looks like bark is the winner. Okay. Putting these back over here. I thought white too. I thought white or bark. Oh gosh. Hi, Stephanie. Okay, now y'all got me thinking. So now, vanilla or bark. I'm gonna paint one bark. I like the pattern. I think it looks weird with it just like that and not the center. I think once we get the centers on there, it's gonna look a lot better. I'm gonna paint one bark and one vanilla, and then we're gonna go from there. Let's do white. White. I see white more often. Okay. We'll paint one white and then one bark, and we'll go from there. All right, so I'm just using the same paintbrush I have been using. I'm gonna go in with my bright white. We'll paint the small and the medium one, and then we'll see which one we like. Vanilla, vanilla, vanilla. Vanilla would be pretty too. All right, so there's the white. I'm gonna clean this one. You know, and I have a whole cup of clean brushes right here, but I always go to the same ones I've been using. All right, let's paint this one bark. And then we will see which ones we like better, okay? Because it doesn't matter to me which one we do. We obviously want it to look good though, right? White would definitely brighten them up. Let's dry. He likes to help take plastic to their... Oh, how cute, Leona. That's adorable. Okay. Getting these dry. So, we have white. Ooh. Okay, white. white, and the white. Or we have the bark. Which version, which center do y'all like more? Obviously the bark's gonna look good with the yellow. Which one do y'all like more? I got you, Miss D. I think I kind of like the white better. What do y'all think? The white? I had a feeling that's the one y'all were going to choose. White, white. Okay. So I'm going to attempt to wipe off this bark with my baby wipe. I may not get all of it off, but remember, this is water soluble. So a wet wipe or something like that will take most of the paste off. It's obviously not going to take all of it off, but I'm going to remove as much of it as I can. That way the white is as bright as it can be. I would do the back side, but it also has marks on the back. So white for the other two, bark for the yellow. But see, I want them all the same. I think I want them all the same. Or do y'all want them different? Okay, before I do anything else, I'm going to wipe down the edge because I'm going to paint this white. And if you have some of like the burn looking, I'm going to try to see if I can find an example for y'all. Like right here. So if you have like that burn looking mark, where did it go? Like right there. That's going to yellow your white. So you want to make sure you wipe all of that off. White, all white. Thomas, you were outvoted, babe. I'm sorry. It's not a bad idea. It was a good idea, but you were outvoted. We're going to do all white. Okay. And I think these would be fun to paint them all yellow and do like sunflowers, or you could do them all the same color. That is up to you. So I just wiped off all that bark. It did leave a little bit of a stain on there. It's not the end of the world. It'll be okay. But we're going to paint this one. Am I the person that keeps freezing up? I don't know, Miss Sharon. My video was freezing up for me earlier, and now it's fine. Try going out and coming back in. Sometimes that helps. Bark on yellow, white on the other two. See, well, see, Thomas, somebody else just agreed with you. It's okay. All right, y'all, comment the word flower to get tonight's supply list. You could totally paint these flowers without the transfer. I think it'll look good that way too. But I do like the pattern on it. We're going to go in one more time and do another coat of white to make it nice and bright. We'll clean up the edges and then we're going to glue it. And then we'll be done. Whatever. Y'all, he tells me all the time he's always right. I mean, he's joking. But he thinks he's always right. Within a reason. It's usually just a joke. He likes to joke that he's always right. Hi, Diane. All right, let's dry these. And then we are going to start gluing. Hi, Jan. I don't know if I said hello to you. Okay. Let's dry these. We're going to close this guy up. And then here comes the fun part is the gluing of all of it and making them stand. Hi, Shauna. So let's start with the big one. Okay. So we're going to see if we can make them stand with 3. I've had success with this with the glue. So it all depends on the glue that you use. I recommend Stick Fast glue. But we are going to use the 2 large, and I'll show you what I mean here in a second. All right. So we're going to put a little bit of glue, and these are made to stand. So if you get these, you will get multiple layers of the same size flour. Okay, now the key to this is being patient and letting the glue set up before you move on to the next, because you don't want them to obviously be uneven. You want them to be flush against one another, because if it's a little uneven, it's not going to stand. Okay, there's that one. We're going to go in with this one, and we're going to see if we can make it stand with 3. And I'm almost out of my stick fast. Okay. Lining it up. That's not right. There we go. All right. So just holding it in place, letting that stick fast set up. Now, I've tried to do this with hot glue, and with 3 layers, the hot glue will not stand. I think I'll just give y'all the 4 layers just to be on the safe side. I know, Thomas. I know, babe. I'm trying to use all of this one because we still got quite a bit left. I gotcha. And look, it stands. Okay, before I do anything, should we distress? Should we distress or just leave it the bright white? What do y'all think? Ooh, that switched on me. That moved. You will get a 4th layer, okay? So if you're using a different type of glue than the Stick Fast, then you'll have that 4th layer as like an insurance. With the 4 layers, no matter what glue you use, it should stand. Distress, okay. What should we distress with? Black, brown. Yeah, it needs something. So we could do, we could do gold. We could do gold. Let's see. I'm thinking the gilding wax. Bronze. Not that one. We could do gold gilding wax. Or, I don't know. What do y'all think? I think gold would be pretty. No, we're saying brown. Well, okay then. Black. Distress white with pink. Well, I kind of want to distress them all with the same thing, so it kind of brings them all together. Does that make sense? All right. We're going to do our 2 layers here. We could do brown. All right, set that up. I think we're going to do brown. The problem with that is I don't have the distress ink in each of the colors, so it wouldn't match exactly. And my paste is really thick on some of them, so it'd make it kind of impossible. These, y'all, I have some extra jars of Woodstock. Thomas wanted me to mention this. I have some extra jars of Woodstock, which was this month's color of the month. So I have some extra jars of those. If you need one, let me know. They are $16. Make it look more rustic antique-ish. Yeah. I can't decide. I think gold would make it really whimsical and pretty, but I don't know. So if you do want a jar of Woodstock, just send me a message. Okay, why can I not line this up? There we go. What do y'all think? Gold or brown? I think brown. That's what I'm leaning towards. I think gold would be better than brown. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Y'all are so very quiet tonight. I hope everybody's doing okay. Happy I talked about it last night too. Well, this is the same thing as like Nominee. And this is also available on my site too. You could do it with Nominee too. I find it's easier to use that than what was I gonna say? I find that easier than using Paste to distress. Lisa, send it to me again. Messages get lost constantly with keywords and all of that. So just send it to me again, if you will. Gold would make it look, I know, I can't decide. I can't decide what I want to do. That's why I'm asking Denise. Maybe someone will convince me of what I should do. I know. I always like to ask y'all though, because a lot of times, y'all have much better ideas than I do. So I think what we're going to try first is we're going to do the gold first, and then we'll see, maybe we'll do gold, and then we'll see how we like it. Because that will be easier to cover up. The gold will be easier to cover up than the brown. So let's do the last little part. It is gilding wax. So it is gold gilding wax from Dixie Belle, which Chalk, this is on my Chalk site. And as a Perks member, you get that 30% off, which is nice because these are not cheap, I would say, but they're worth it because that will last you forever. I've had this jar for almost a year. What does the handsome hobo think? I bet he's going to say he said black. Black really wasn't an option. So I don't know if he's still watching, but handsome hobo, do you think brown or gold? He's not here, so I can't ask him, like, if you were here. Let's hold this together. Okay, Lisa, I saw your message come through. I will check it after my live. Oh, shoot. I did 4 on that one. Hold on. What am I thinking? We want this one on top. There we go. All right, we're going to let these set up. I'm going to try to get them as even as I can. This is the little issue with Stick Fast, is it does take a while to set up, and it can, and your pieces can move on you. All right, so let's try the gold first. I'm going to go in with a blending brush, a dry brush, I guess you would say. We're going to open this up. Oh, see, he is here. I didn't know if you were still watching. I think he's saying gold because that's what he thinks I want him to say. All right, so I'm going to go in with my dry brush. I'm going to dip into the wax, and then I'm going to offload it, and we are just going to go around the edge. And we'll see what we think. I think this will add a little pizzazz to the flower. Brown would look pretty too. I think Miss Denise said it would make it look a little rustic. It all depends on the look you're going for. And I really wasn't sure what I was going for. All right. There's the gold. Then I'm going to do a little bit around the edge of the flower, and then we'll see what we think. But I got these brushes from Amazon. I really like them. You can use them with paint, with paste. It all just depends on how you want to use them. Hi, Kim. He's keeping an eye on me. He's not keeping an eye. He's just here to show his support. I will say that. He just wants to be supportive, which I so appreciate. See? I said the same thing, and I didn't even see his comment. All right, going around the edges. All right. I kind of like that. I kind of like the gold. So we're gonna stick with the gold. I do think, like I said, I do think the brown would be really pretty. If you prefer the brown. But I think the gold, I think Miss Jan said it'd be more springy, and I kind of agree with you. So this is just the tedious part. This would obviously be a lot easier had I done this before I glued everything. But it's okay. I really like it too. I think it just adds a little bit, like a little fanciness to it. And I'm going to go in and kind of thicken it up in some areas. Okay. Ooh, that's pretty. All right, we're going to glue this down. It's a brush, Kim. It is a brush. They're not stiff, like stiff bristles. They are soft, but they're called dry brushing paintbrushes or something like that. If you comment the word flower, they're actually in my Amazon link for you. But the cool thing is chalk has a bunch of different colors, which I'm kind of kicking myself. I should have bought the other ones. There are some like springtime colors. Like I think there's a lavender. There might be like a little pink one with the gilding wax. I just didn't buy them. Now I wish I would have. All right, let's go in with our yellow. So same thing. I'm just going to kind of be a little heavy-handed in some areas. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now you can also, I believe you can also use these waxes with the transfers, the stencils. So keep that in mind too. From what I've heard, that's an easy task to be better than the last. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. All Young Love Honeymoon is still in effect. Oh, I didn't see Robbie's comment. Absolutely, Miss Robbie. Miss Robbie's been with me pretty much since the beginning. So she has seen me I've been doing this for almost 5 years, which is just crazy. It'll be 5 years in July. So she knows. Lots of y'all been with me from the beginning though. All right. Okay, a little bit of gold, and then we're gonna go around the edge. Well, we don't need to talk about that one. Going in. Okay, then we're gonna do the same thing with the purple. And we are almost done. So y'all hit that heart button for me. If you haven't done so, comment the word flower. That'll get you the supply list. You can grab these flower cutouts. Now, you don't have to make them stand. You could use the flowers for different things. But the set is $12. And you can grab that when you comment the word flower. And the colors I used, you could use acrylic paint for this. You don't have to use the chalk paste. But hang out till the end. We're going to do a giveaway at the very end. And then we will be done. Now, I will be on tomorrow morning. I'll be presenting for that craft group. So I think it's 10:30 that I'll be on. Maybe 9:45. I don't remember. Maybe it's 9. I need to look. That'd probably be a good idea for me to know what time I'm going on. Okay, going around this edge. Then we will glue everything together and I will show y'all. So you will get 4 layers to your flower. I'm only using 3, but you will get the extra 4, the 4th layer to your order in case you don't use stick fast glue. But the 4th layer will for sure ensure that they will stand no matter what glue you use. Okay, we're going to glue this on. My schedule said 9. Perfect. Thank you, Donna. So I will be live at 9 a.m. I haven't decided what we're going to do yet. I have an idea. If you saw the tulip round that I had in my live sale on Sunday, I was thinking about painting that, adding the transfer, and then putting that on a wreath. That's okay, Robbie. Not a big deal. I understand. When I go live in the mornings, not everybody can make it. I totally get it. My gosh, that glue got on my hand. All right. So here's flower number 1. Okay. You can get the 4th layer. You will get the 4th layer to make it stand. Then we got to make sure that these set up just a little bit before I stand them up. Okay. So y'all do me a huge favor. Hit the heart button. Go grab your flower set. We're going to pick a winner. Let me put all of my stuff away. But which color is your favorite? The pink, the yellow. I kind of got a little thick right there. The yellow or the purple. Which one is your fave? That's okay, Tammy. I get it, girl. Not everybody can make it, but the replay will be there. So you can always come back and check the replay if you miss it. Not a big deal. The pink. I think the pink's my favorite too. Pink, purple, pink. Yellow, definitely. It's your favorite color, yeah. So I'm trying to get these to stand, or the glue to set up, but look, they stand. How cute are those? Those are perfect for like a little shelf or like a table. So this one is 5 inches, 4 inches, 3 inches. So they're not very large. So purple, you'll be making pierogies in the morning. Well, look at you, Miss Pamela. All of them. Yeah, they're so, I like these shelf sitters. But these are the standing spring flowers. I'm trying to let that glue set, but I know y'all want to see it standing. There they are. And I actually think the pattern looks very good. Looks good with it. All right, y'all, let's pick a winner. So our keyword is flower. When you comment that keyword, you'll get the supply list for everything I used tonight. The first link in the message is the link to the cutouts. You can grab those over there on my cutout site, and then you can grab the transfer and stuff through the Chalk website. There also is a link to the quick shop option for the live sale. So if you comment the word flower and go to the very bottom, at the very bottom of where all the wording is, like right above the buttons, there's a link to the quick shop video, which is like 5 minutes long, and you can shop the replay of the live sale. And I think that is it. You can never say pierogi, right? We'll work on it. Hi, Ruthie. So, our keyword, so the way that my live sales work is I give you a keyword to say or to comment. So I might say, comment the word blank, whatever it is. And then it's going to be the, 6th person on my end. And so you'll comment that word. And then on my end, I will read out the list of names in the order that I see them. And then whoever's 6th name I land on is the winner. Okay. So our keyword tonight, let's do the word. Let's do the word. Oh gosh, I can't, why is this always so hard for me? Let's do the word water. Okay. The keyword is water for the giveaway. And it'll be the 5th person, to comment that word on my end will be tonight's winner. Yes. If you want the supply list, the word is flower. So the word is water to get entered into the giveaway. Allison Kelly was number 1. Shelf sitter. Yeah, you say something else. Allison Kelly was number 1. Laura Abbott was 2. Jan was 3. Shannon was 4. And Brenda Lee Norman, girlfriend, you got some good luck. Brenda was number 5. And then I'm going to do another one. Let's do 4 more. So Sandy Smith, Tammy Cabrel, Diane Dade, and Miss Lynette Gotro, you were number 4. So Brenda and Lynette, send me a message saying, hey, I won, and I will send you that form to fill out to get your giveaway. Miss Brenda, you just won the other day too. You've got some good luck. You need to go to Vegas or something or play the lottery. But here is our project for tonight. Super simple, super easy. The hardest part was just painting it, really. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of your night. I will see y'all tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And y'all have a great rest of your evening. Bye, y'all.